Welcome to your City of Greensboro Weekly Flash Briefing. The Greensboro City Council approved a bond referendum for the spring 2022 ballot. Voters will have an opportunity to consider approving up to $135 million in bonds to support a variety of proposed city projects. Council passed the resolution to call for a general obligation bond referendum to be held during the general election. The bonds break down to $6 million for law enforcement facilities, $14 million to support fire operation facilities, $15 million in transportation bonds, and an allocation of $30 million to fund housing projects. Last but not least, voters will have the opportunity to vote for a $70 million bond for parks and recreation. In economic development news, the Greensboro City Council agreed to award more than $160,000 to TAT Piedmont. This is part of an economic development incentive grant to assist the company with making property improvements, purchasing new equipment, and creating jobs. TAT Piedmont's proposed expansion will result in an estimated investment of $14 million, creating 85 new jobs over 4 years. The City Council also voted to award more than $126,000 in economic development incentive grants to RPM Wood Finishes Group. The grant spans 3 years and will be used to fund property improvements, purchase new equipment, and create new jobs. Over this period, RPM Wood Finishes Group plans to invest $20 million, creating more than 50 new jobs. A bid in the amount of nearly $14 million was approved for a contract for the Alamance Church Road Widening Improvements Project. In addition to widening a portion of Alamance Church Road, the work will also include the realignment of Bristol Road. Other construction includes corresponding storm sewer, sidewalks, driveways, and the installation of ADA-compliant wheelchair ramps. The Alamance Church Road improvements are slated to begin early next year. In total, more than $40 million was approved by the Greensboro City Council to support infrastructure projects throughout the Gate City. A portion of Belmead Avenue will remain closed through the middle of January. The installation of new water and stormwater lines is taking place along Belmead Avenue between Eugene and Edgeworth Streets. The area will remain closed to all traffic as part of the Eugene-Belmead Streetscape project. Detour signs are posted. Access to the Eugene Street parking deck is still available from Eugene Street. This concludes the weekly flash briefing for the City of Greensboro. For in-depth news, tune in to FYI Weekly on Greensboro Television Network, on Spectrum, AT&T, North State, and Roku. Keep up with the latest city news on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Be sure to download our weekly podcast, Talk City Greensboro. Thanks for listening and stay tuned for our next flash briefing.